All right, good day, everyone. I'm going to do this video on your nails, unless you don't have any, in which case you can consider having nails. When I started out seriously on the guitar after several years with my brother Peter, who got me started on the guitar when I was probably around, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, maybe, which was right around the time when I was about to spend more than 6 months in bed with viral mononucleosis. So I found myself with a great deal of time to play the guitar when I didn't fall asleep on it. So prior to all this, I of course did what I normally do, which is when I'm starting something off, I go to the library and I found a book on it. I did this quite often, either the school library, I went to the public library. So I had started out after I got my first real guitar from a friend of my brother's. I can't remember the young lady's name, but her father made guitars. And I got this beautiful guitar made out of cherry wood that was steel string, not nylon. And so he played classical guitar as well as other stuff. And he was showing me some things to get me started. And I just immediately went to the library and found myself a book on the classical guitar and borrowed it. And opened it up, and the first page was Care and Maintenance of the Nails. And I thought, what? So I started reading it, and just by reading it, because at this time we didn't have YouTube, so I couldn't just pop on my iPad and go, oh, that's what they're doing. So I had to read about it and figure it out, and then I went and got I don't remember who it was, somebody or other. It wasn't a big guy, but I was at the library. I just asked the librarian, hey, I want to see a movie or a film or something of a classical guitarist playing classical music. And went, no problem, and took me over and showed me where the little video thing was. And I picked up something, whether it was a videotape. It probably wasn't a videotape at that point. I don't remember videos, but they probably had them. And went into the little video room and popped it on there and watched it. And read my book while I was watching it, looking what was going on. So I realized what the nails were for and what they were doing, and especially since I had read the book, I got the idea. So you can do the same thing, but of course you can do it on YouTube. So there are a lot of videos on your nails, and how to use them, how to shape them, how to care for them. Everything's there. I can't tell you how many I've watched over the years. Loads and loads. Some I find to be rather pointless and useless because they're talking about stuff that, unless you're a full-time professional classical guitarist, you're not going to be able to or even have the time to do some of the stuff that they do. And others are just very practical, which is what I'm trying to do here. So my after getting started and playing, I went through different phases. I tried using vampire nails, or arrowhead nails as they're called, which means you basically have an arrowhead at the end of your finger, shaped like this. And the point is to give you a flat picking side on either side of your nail. Whether they're very thin or whether they're very wide. So whichever way you go, you have a picking side. I didn't find that very useful, and I also found people being crying out in pain quite often if I shake your hand or put my hand, on their shoulder or something. And of course, a lot of girls were just jealous of them, so I decided this isn't going to work. It's not going to get me anywhere, and I literally mean get me anywhere. So I then tried to round it off a little bit, and I kept rounding it off, and I found very quickly that using a half moon was really the best for me. Now with my nails, and I'm going to see if this will work. So I'm showing you there we go, the black will do a job. So I'm showing you my nail, it's my first finger, you can see it's pretty much rounded. You can see that one, which is very clear, it's rounded. However, unfortunately, that one doesn't round off very well because you can see it slants here and goes to a little peak because it's a hook nail, and I've never been able to fix it unless I put on an acrylic nail. So naturally, I have to keep this nail somewhat with a slant in it like this, but this one is probably the most perfect nail because, again, as you can see, it's almost perfectly half moon shaped. What I like about it is when you're picking the string, it doesn't matter how accurate I am, because I'm getting old also. But also when I was younger, I was most of the time performing and standing up, and anytime I'd shift, my hand would shift. So with a, an arrowhead nail, it meant I would shift to a different part of the nail and then I get a completely different sound. Where with these, it's pretty consistent. And if I miss a little bit, it's not a problem. So I go with the half moon shape. Feel free to go through all the other ones. A lot of guitarists that I've seen are using this same thing with the, sorry, I have to go back to my black background here. I hope you can see this, because I can't see it terribly well, but my nail slants here almost like a straight edge, and then there's the bump on this side, which is the side where the string usually hits on. Well, he has all of his fingers like this. The nails are shaped like this. So here's the nail pointed up, the nail has got a slant like this on it. And it comes up to a point with, I don't remember if it's a straight point, if it's a slight rounded point, but it's actually like this. Rather than being a half moon, it's straight. It works okay on here if I'm practicing. It's not practical to play with if I have to perform or record. It isn't. I have to have a more solid surface to go on. I've also used ping pong balls, which fix this perfectly, because no matter what the shape of the nail is, I just put the ping pong ball, super glue it on, shape the ping pong ball, and the nail doesn't have any effect anymore. And most of what I'm hitting is the ping pong ball, which is hitting the strings. I like those. They're useful. I just don't like having to constantly put super glue on the inside of my nails. And I've used some of the medical super glue, and I like that stuff. It's just very expensive and hard to find. And I've used applications of various different kinds, including, and I will highly recommend this company, you should look them up, it's called Tiptonic, TIPTONIC.com, and they've got these really clever nails that are made out of actual pick material, like for a flat pick, and once you get them fitted and you get the right size, all you do is you slip them right over your nail, and they cover most or part of your nail, depending upon what you want. They're great. I have them, unfortunately, they're in my storage room, which is inaccessible right now, so I don't have them with me, because I was in Europe for 3 months in the fall, and I had to put everything in storage, and I couldn't take my nail kit with me. And I realized later that my nail kit is with me, but my Tiptonic nails aren't in my nail kit, unless they're buried someplace and I just didn't find them. If I do, I'll make a little video on them. But you can also look up Tiptonic on YouTube, and you can watch some of the videos. They're really nice, and they fix, I mean, for just practice, I don't think I could use them to perform with, but for practice, they're great. No matter, even if you don't have very much nail and you should break a nail, you just got to cover it up just enough so that the edges of your nail can catch on the inside of the pick, and you're good to go. And they also have this goop that you use, you put on your inside nail, and it sticks to your nail, but you can easily pull it off. Great idea, great application. I mean, application in terms of actually using the nail. And the tone is nice, it's consistent. I can't speak highly enough of it. My only problem with it is the thumbnail, which I was working on. The fellow, I think his name was Britt. We were trying to get a thumbnail working that would actually have, it's like I wish I had one of those here. Basically, it's kind of like having that, but it's in the nail. So it sits on top of the thumb like that, and you have a surface on the side. And I had a hard time getting the thing to actually sit properly. So look all those up, hit YouTube, find as many videos as you can, listen, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to do probably another video, because this one's getting a bit long and I can't go over 10 minutes, on actually carrying and applying my nails, and which I'll probably end up doing is my acrylic nails, and I'll just show you some of that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them. I'll try to put some links up if I can find them, especially for Tiptonic. And I hope you find this useful. If not, tell me why, and I'll try again. Thanks, bye.